chippies, you know, looking for the different points in his ultimates, because that's going to be the big go button for Direwolves.
I actually like this. A bit of a throwback to when we used to cast together all the time, because it was always check the level of the Rumble to see how much the Equalizer is going to hurt when he teleports in for a dragon. That was always the way. You taught me how to do this. Like, I now know how to commentate, because I know that you just need to look at the Rumble and which level he is in order to work out what to do.
He's level 11. I think they're going for it.
No, he's only level 1. There's only one there.
Man.
Have you got your glasses on?
No, but I am dyslexic.
Oh, okay. Well, Team 1 looking for the early invade. Shenfire unable to take down that ward. As Destiny turns up unseen here. It's a bit of a 5-point defense system, with Fantix just hanging out there in the mid lane, understanding that Bruiser is probably just going to try and throw balls at him, which he does.
Just scouting out. Now, the thing is that the damage kind of has been done, however, because they did place the vision onto the red buff. So if Shenfire decides to commit to it, it will be giving full vision and information over to Team 1, and then it's a matter of what they do with that vision, knowing what Shenfire's pathing is, or suspecting what it could be. And maybe, you know, he gives them the information, then he tries to put a spin on it or a twist to find some sort of opening and ganking his lanes. But looks like it's going to be a Raptor start and a red start for both junglers.
Yep, Forlan actually cheating here because that skin does have a real weapon. Not a huge fan. It's supposed to have something like a fishing rod, you know, or a lamppost. He's got an actual pole arm. Does that bother you?
That he has an actual weapon?
Yeah.
The fact that he's playing Jax bothers me. I hate that champion. Playing against Jax is just as ruins
Playing
days.
against him isn't great, but I like having him there because he does create extra action. As King's going to turn up, does have the championship Ash skin as well. It's the first binding lands. You got to check that one out generally. It's like getting your eye in. Destiny does certainly have that one, although he was punished.
I feel like you really only have to hit one, too, because then you just get into the mind of your enemy,
Yeah.
and they just know now that you can hit it.
Although he did take half of his health bar in damage. Does have some biscuits there to keep himself safe, so see whether the Direwolves can push this one back, but it's a good shove coming out from Team 1.
But checking back in on the jungler, so it was red into blue. Shenfire's now just completed it, and Fiora is very far forward. So Shenfire looks like he's going to go for the easy gank and might walk into him in the ward. Oh, he stalled for the scuttle.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect.
Shern does like to pick up camps where he can, as Vert is going to know exactly what's going on, as little Rift Scuttler does turn up right in front of him.
Yeah, and immediately the ping goes down. So like you said, he sees the Scuttler, so he knows that Shenfire is on the top side of the map. That'll give information for Forlan to decide how he wants to continue to farm his jungle. Maybe he'll look for an invade on Krugs. The ward has already been placed in the bottom side of the try, so he will have clean vision walking down there if he wants to trade camp.
Yeah, and Shern actually avoiding a lot of the vision here. If he does walk over and try and get a deep gank onto Vert up towards the top side, he can certainly do that, and Vert knows that he is up there, so just going to try and check. It means that Chippies has a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Vert, he just has to give the respect for the Jarvan. Only has his ward into the Tri-Brush, and Rumble level 4, still very punishing.
Well, speaking of punishing, Fantix actually going aggressive against Bruiser here, who's had to eat a lot of his biscuits already. By that I mean one.
I'm already glad to see Bruiser using auto attacks. We had some Oriannas earlier today that were just auto attack or just attacking with the ball, as opposed to also utilizing the passive and the auto attack, which is where so much of her early damage comes from in lane phase.
Well, King actually trying to get some damage back here, but he's losing out.
the
Concussive
jungle.
Blows comes in and the Ignite's there. Okay, Forlan in trouble though, and Fantix is looking for this one. Leap comes in. Oh my goodness, that was God tier. The counter-strike is enough. The flash is coming, but Destiny gets the flash bind, and first blood goes to Fantix.
The fadeaway binding from Destiny, right place, right time, and it gives Fantix the double buff. So Corki just got a lot scarier in this lane.
And that was absolutely fantastic as well, because it was like Destiny turns up and says, all right, kids, you're struggling to take him down. It's okay. I'll get the carry in here. And Fantix now looking for more under Bruiser, going aggressive. Does have the blue buff and the red buff, so isn't too worried at all.
Also has the flash advantage on the Orianna, so Bruiser has to be so respectful there. As we take a look how that happened, because we were looking at the bottom lane, which turned into a very heavy 2v2, but Forlan just caught counter-jungling the Raptor camp.
Did have a level advantage here under Sherm, but just knew that Fantix was in the area. It was so cute with this play to get the stun, but Destiny, that was fantastic.
Flashes over the wall and just hits him on the very edge.
Oh, come on, just say it.
No. I'm not here to indulge you, Atlas.
Dang it. Okay, well, Bruiser sidesteps the phosphorus bomb. I'm going to be upset about that for a while, okay, Frostgrin?
So the thing that Fantix wants to do here is he wants to continue to punish the flashless Orianna, so he's trying to get the creep wave pulled over to his side of the map and just be that massive bully that double buff Corki gets to be by denying as much CS as possible, and then being like, if you want it,
Yeah,
come and get it.
1,000 gold now the lead here for the Direwolves. As Counter-Strike does come in. Oh, nice edge stun onto Fantix. Forlan showing that he knows exactly how to play the ganks on this Jax, but with Bruiser with no mana and basically no health, it's a big struggle. Shockwave now in his back pocket, but probably can't even afford to use it at this stage. As Fantix control of the wave, will be able to clean up these creeps quite nicely.
Having to pull the jungle just to trying to fix the wave there. It does mean that, like you said, Schernfire gets to continue to play Farmville in his jungle. Kind of in the Schernfire way.
Yeah, and as we look topside as well, Chippies has been able to continue to build control and pressure here in this lane, because Vert, after that earlier stage, all of these creeps that are here as well, Chippies held that lane in the position for a very long time.
And this is exactly what the Direwolves fans wanted to see from their team in the first game. This is all of the keys of success for them. They are very much a solo lane-focused team, and then bouncing their jungler in between them. You know, Fantix is ahead in CS in the mid lane, already has a Sheen now, so going to be trying to punish Orianna even harder. Chippies is having a hell of a time up into the top lane, although it might get sneaky because Brahm's actually rotating up there.
Yeah, what is this funny business, Redbird?
He's been spotted.
It's a dry fly.
One might say a stroll.
Yeah, just checking the area. Brewster is going to be discovered as well. Forlan taking down this Rift Scuttler, so trying to get himself back up to the level of Schern. Does actually have even in experience, but you can see a few more camps have been taken here by Schernfire.
But it's
building
still
up towards his Cinderhawk.
It's still so important what Team 1 are trying to set for Brewster up in the mid lane. You know, yeah, the top lane play didn't necessarily work out, but they pulled Braum into the mid lane. Jax made sure that he took control of the Scuttle Crab. They've placed multiple wards and a lot of vision underneath Brewster. So while he's still waiting for that flash to come back up, he's been given a nice safety net that he can play towards the bottom side of his lane and try to pick up some of this table scrap of farm that Fantix is letting slip through.
And speaking of picking up farm, Direwolves able to actually call it back. I mean, they are going to get rooted just here. King in a little bit of trouble. Good Unbreakable. Stops a lot of the damage onto Redbird, but you can see 54 to 63, and there's about 10 creeps there heading towards the turret. Despite the fact that the pressure is in favor of Team 1, they're just not able to actually make it mean anything just yet in this early.
I mean, I just really like Xayah as a very lane-dominant champion. Her W is pretty ridiculous, as well as the passive feathers coming through to really deal with, despite a lot of the pushing power that Ashe has with Volley.
The issue is that they're back to even as this lane does equalize on the bottom side. So, I mean, yes, being a lane bully is great, and yes, you're bringing King down to low health, but you have to be able to translate that into tangible leads.
And what that tangible lead would be is how Jax or Forlan would be able to utilize the pushing bot lane. You know, maybe he starts sneaking in, although the last time he did that, he died on the Raptor camp. But they do have good vision, you know, behind the dragon buff, and you can even see he's trying to do that just now. Just walk in, try to get control around the Raptor camp area. Hold on.
Goes Schern. There's the package. Special delivery for Brewster, who uses the heal, gets himself out of the way, but Valkyrie's there for Fantix. He wants to get more. It's a merry journey as the equalizer sets up the red carpet, and Chippies heads in, grabs the kill, says thanks very much, and goes back to dominate Vert.
Doesn't get any easier than that. Combo timed with the equalizer, the package, as well as the Cataclysm. Chippies drives by, all me.
Just amazing. Set up exactly the path that Brewster didn't want to take.
But what's interesting is now the equalizer's not available for the cross-back play. You know, normally a lot of teams, when they have the equalizer available, that's when they try to make the teleport play bottom, especially on a lane as far forward as this Xayah and Braum right now. But the Direwolves, they sit in their lanes. They like to abuse these individual matchups and advantages, whereas Team 1 are trying to be more about the team play. You know, they pressure forward in their bot lane. They then use that pressure to pivot, turn towards the dragon, and start setting themselves up for a mountain.
Well, they are certainly going to be able to head towards this. Fantix doing a lot of damage to this mid lane, as we can see at about 10 minutes in. It's pretty much on the clock as far as farm. What we expect from him, but it means that Direwolves not able to grab what is a pretty important dragon. Set up Team 1 Esports for the later stage of the game. It's only about a 2,000 gold lead as Direwolves do have to get themselves out of this.
I mean, the scary thing is that with taking the Mountain, the Infernal is just as important next time. It will spawn around 16 minutes, and around that time window, Fantix is going to be very happy. He's already sitting on the Phage as well as the Sheen, so he should have his Trinity Force completed.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be going full steam ahead for that Infernal fight.
Are you talking about Corky Power Spikes again?
The Corky Power Spike.
I love it.
It's like a bingo card.
Yeah. When does it happen? Whenever he completes an item.
Although, here we go.
Yeah, Arrow is going to fly forward. There's the knock-up from Shern as Destiny doesn't quite get the ultimate to work. And Glacial Fissure comes in with Redbird able to get out of the way. Flash timing stunning from Absolute, who is going to be safe. No mana, no summoner spells, but does have his life.
And so much used right there, and they're able to walk away. That said, here's Jax.
Yeah, Fallen gets the double stun as well as at least the Black Shield was there from Destiny to try and get him out of there. Not going to get stunned.
And you also have the mid laners starting to rotate down, so even though they don't make their appearance, the threat from Brewster, the appearance of Forlan mean that Team 1 gets to at least hang on to this tower a little bit longer, including Redbird's life.
And the change from most other teams here is that Direwolves are probably okay with this, because what happens when there's a 3-man bottom lane for the Direwolves? It means that their solo lanes, that this time they're actually winning, are able to put that pressure on. You saw Fantix all the way up to the turret. Now doing his favorite thing ever, which is take down Popcorn Chickens, and does so very, very easily to try and boost that CS number. And Chippies continues to pressure on the top side, so they're able to capitalize from these moves.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Atlas. It's just going to be the wash, rinse, and repeat for the Direwolves as soon as they have those cooldowns back up and available, especially now that Absolute has burned his flash, so just a very easy target. Now, with Redbird rotating towards the top side of the map, I was going to say, there's a chance that maybe they rotate their bot lane out of that lane, but the teleport comes through to Fiora, and they're going to hold standard lanes longer.
Well, Redbird actually paying a little bit of attention here in the mid lane. He does like to have an excursion, but hasn't found any success doing so just yet. Shenfire has some buffs to pick up. It's the red on the bottom side. And then we'll hand over to Fantix, the blue buff that should be coming up momentarily.
Should be noted that the Ardent Sensor has been completed for Destiny. He also has the Stoneborn Pact Morgana combo there, so offering a lot for his team.
Getting himself in there. See whether Destiny is going to be the one making the plays, as he does have Soul Shackles back up once again now. Just ticking over. Good Winter Spite lands onto King, but doesn't seem to be too worried about the damage.
But the setup is coming for Direwolves. They already pinged bottom. They're starting to pressure the wave forward. The cooldowns are back up and available, and Shernfire is starting to move that vision deeper and deeper. And Team 1 know this is coming.
You can see as well, King actually going for an interesting item build. Infinity Edge first. Ashe is going to come in.
So what's going to happen is Corky should shove this lane, clear it, and then he should also start to rotate. Now, Team 1 have done a good job pulling Jax into position, but the dive is coming. Teleport is available for Chippies, and it's not there for Vert.
See, the King's actually onto the blue buff. They are going to look to take that one down as Grand Challenge comes in. Chippies gets his side to the wall, which is exactly what you want to do. He's not going to be able to proc all of these vitals. Riposte comes down, but no more mana left, and Chippies wants this. Gets the flash out of Vert all too easily, and Chippies looks in his element this game. Good Black Shield comes down onto King on the bottom side, and another Dark Binding. Soul Shackles to follow up, but doesn't get the extra damage in. Absolute getting some back, but King looks absolutely fine.
Yeah, and with all the action happening top, Direwolves don't even have to look for the dive. That's normally the play that you would see there. The wards go down, the rumble shows up, but Equalizer's not there, and I might have spoken too soon because Shernfire's like, nope, we're going for it.
But the rest of Team 1 are going to get themselves out of the way. Fantix is here as well, so a good idea to vacate the area for Team 1, but they get themselves back with this minion wave that's coming in. There's not enough creeps to get this one done. Or is there, as Shernfire jumps himself forward. Redbird gets his way out, but Fantix able to grab it with an empowered auto attack. Everyone is melting as Forlan goes down for the double for the Corky. It's exactly what we want. Chippies turns up. Everyone gets something here on the bottom side, and they'll get the first turret.
No Equalizer, no problem. The thing is with Jarvan and a massive creep wave, Direwolves have the potential that they could look to push through here, but there's a wealth of options available for them.
Well, at least Vert now gets some spare time up towards the top side to try and get rid of this outer turret, but I'm not sure whether any extra damage was done with how pushed Chippies was. And a package is going to be delivered to Brewster. He's taking so much damage. The flash follow-up, all too easy. Gets the circle around him, but Fantix ain't going anywhere, and Brewster, he's dead.
And now it's multiple solo kills happening in these individual lanes, and Fantix is suddenly 4-0 into it. Felt like it just quietly snuck up on everyone. I talked about that 16-minute Infernal Drake and what it meant that around that time that Corki would be prepared. He's not only prepared, he's also got a BF sword.
Just casually, the casual BF sword. Going for the second item, Infinity Edge. Of course, what was the old build for Corki, the most expensive one ever. And Fantix, who's just been eating these little raptors over and over again. That's what happens when you're 167 CS.
Hold on. I feel like I've seen this play before.
Oh, goodness me. The arrow does land absolute. He's not going to be able to Featherstorm because he didn't even have it. Sternfire's going to be able to pick this one up, just blocking the Winter's Bite potential. Redbert, he's walking, but he's not going to get anywhere. There's so many wards from the Direwolves as well. They knew that he had no support.
But there is a counterplay available, and it's up in the top lane, but can Chippy's 2v1?
Well, he's trying to get out of the way, but there's another Vital here for Vert. He does get it. And Chippy's not going to be able to do anything. Not sure whether that equalizes even worth it is. Oh my goodness, the slow is enough, but Lunge, not a long cooldown on that one, and Vert is able to lock that one down. First kill here for Team 1.
So Forlan helps get them something back into this game, but they're still losing so much in terms of objectives. It will be the Infernal that falls, and possibly their mid laner as Brucer. He's not having a good time.
No, he can't go anywhere near Fantix right now, which he just learnt. Fantix now pushing up towards this inner turret, and he's going to try and beat this clock. Okay, there's the shockwave. Fantix says, I don't really care about that one. Doesn't even have something like a null magic mantle. It's just the huge lead that he has helping him out here.
Now Brucer just trying to buy time there for Forlan to come down, make sure that they don't lose any chip damage on their inner mid towers. We take another look at this bot play. And this is the thing, like you said, when Fantix are winning their natural lanes, it allows Schernfire to give the attention to the bottom lane. Again, his jungle proximity is much higher for these two. He likes to camp the lane. King likes to play more of these utility-style AD carries. So this is just true comfort for the Direwolves.
And that was actually just everything going perfectly as well. All the skill shots land. This, not so good for Direwolves fans. Team 1 finally getting something on the board, and 4-1 is the scoreline between Brazil and Oceania. And that's in favor of OCE for the moment, but Team 1 really want to try and get one back, build their way towards this, and get towards the best of fives after this group stage.
Now that said, it does look pretty dark for them right now. 32 to 25k. Rift Herald also falling for Direwolves as well as the top tower, but there's still that tiny light at the back of the tunnel, Atlas, and the fact that it's Fiora that's getting the kill, that it's still the Jax, that it's still the Xayah. There are still these late game scaling options for Team 1, but they need to, pump the brakes on the tempo of this game, slow everything down, and start getting their ducks in a row.
It's going to be difficult, 7,000 gold being the lead here for the Direwolves. And it's not even 20 minutes into the game yet. Fantix has his 200 CS already. I've missed casting this guy because I like farm a lot, and Fantix never disappoints.
So does he.
He does. He does. We're like-minded like that.
So the big play now for Direwolves is the fact that the Baron will be spawning in 140, so they've already moved Fantix up into the top side. His teleport will be available soon. Chippy's has his. He should move to the bottom. Now, the play that Team 1 have on this, because Direwolves are just going to push mid, push top, and then look for a pick in this jungle, which is what Destiny's setting up to do now.
Brucer is going to be discovered, and the arrow is going to land. A flash from Destiny gets the Soul Shackles in. It's at least a decent ultimate, but Destiny was healthy enough. Just good setup there from the Direwolves, and they wasted no time throwing out that arrow.
Yeah, and it was just an echo of the possible damage and 5v5 that Team 1 may have if that shockwave is followed up on. But otherwise, Direwolves just know exactly what they want to do. Like I said, push the two outer waves and then just look for Team 1 cheating between mid and top and find that pick. Now, the other option that they have is little Chippy's by himself down here. Yes, the Rumble is still very scary.
Not that little, yeah.
But we've seen in the 2v1 that they can take him down.
Well, Bert's going to try and set himself up. He has the Ravenous Hydra, so his dueling potential is certainly there. But with the Rift Herald heading towards this inner turret, oh goodness, it might actually get some damage down onto this inhibitor as well, as Fantix is going to turn up. They're 4-man strong, doing the split push rumble thing.
But they should just rotate top. It's only Absolute up there by himself.
And they get the short track as well, given all of this vision that they have available to themselves. I know you love talking about it, but being able to flood that with wards means that they can move back and forward between these two lanes so easily.
which then puts responsibility on Vert, because that's exactly what Direwolves want to do. And then they'll just look for the teleport play. Chippies is level 12, which means he has 2 points in the ultimate right now. So much responsibility on this Fiora to keep Rumble locked like this.
Well, he's going to be able to heal himself up, but Destiny makes his way in. Fantix has the package. He's going to turn up. That's the double equalizer that we were looking for. And Chippies gets revenge by taking him down. A little bit unfair in a 3v1.
And unfortunately, they lost track of the rest of the Direwolves. You know, maybe some miscommunication cross-map that, hey, they could all be just rushing down bottom to kill you. And suddenly that big pressure point that Team 1 had to play around, maybe a bit of a safety net to delay the Baron, is denied.
Yeah. And it's a little bit unfortunate because I do really like what Vert was trying to do there, because you do need to try and make plays. You definitely do not want to get locked down by the pick potential of the Direwolves, but thankfully Bruiser does make his way out. Man protect enough to keep him alive.
But Team 1 are zoned off of the mid lane and the wave is crashing in. So the red buff goes to Fantix and Direwolves just turn tail and say, we didn't want you anyway. We wanted this mid lane tower.
Yep. King actually going to focus on these creeps a little bit, but Fantix, he's got his power spike number 2, Frosco, and that is going to be the Infinity Edge locked in. That tower did not last very long at all. Really good riposte, but just doesn't matter. They've got much more CC to come in. The Shockwave left a lot to be desired there from Bruiser. Didn't find the targets, and they're just bleeding objectives left, right, and center. 11,000 gold to lead for the Direwolves. And the final game of the day, looking dominant here for the OCE representatives.
And it's about time, because Oceania have had a really rough go internationally, and this is the performance they've wanted. So like you said, the Riposte does find one form of CC, but then it just opens up the opportunity for Ashe to pop Fiora right in the teeth with the ultimate.
And I feel like if Forlan had have just flashed forward instead, that could have been the massive 4-man Shockwave, but instead, realizing that they're a little bit too far behind, that would have spelt the end of the game.
Team 1, though, possibly looking for something pretty bold here. And if I had to assign this team a word, bold would be the one. They just
the Gambit play, I think we can call it now.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Because they went for back-to-back surprise Barons against WE, and it worked the first time.
They were setting up a cute trap there, trying to catch out Direwolves heading to the Baron.
Shownfire, absolutely no fear at all, as another binding lands. Has Destiny missed one yet? Looking ridiculous as Fantix, about 3 auto attacks will do it. He's still burning down. There it is. Right at the very end of the rocket, as Frostcrew would say.
The ultimate, the heal, and the flash. An absolute. That's now a 4v5 for this Baron. They've got the control wards. Team 1 know it's going down. They do have their smite, but it might be too little too late. One last chance.
Yeah, and a level in advantage there for Shownfire as well, as they probably want to deny him being able to leap into this pit, because you don't want to try and opt in for any sort of 50-50. There's a Shockwave, but it is locked down by Shownfire, and they grab the kill. Fantix, he's in amongst it. We've got the arrow landing as well, and Fantix knows the target that he wants to pick up. He's 7-0-4. The equalizer's there, and Redbird has to be so careful. I don't think a turret is going to bother Fantix at all, as, my God, that was just one empowered auto attack. And Chippy's representing the Direwolves underneath the turret, making sure that the Braum goes down.
They've got the wave, they've got the Baron, and now they're going to start sieging up on another inhib tower.
Okay, Absolute is going to respawn, but does not want to go up against Chippies, and this is the dominance that we know the Direwolves can bring when they get that early start. 15,000 gold is the lead, but Vert now looking to try and answer Chippies. If they can stall, certainly can be a game that they can win, because that split push win condition with 6 items on everyone is certainly available. The Direwolves look like they're closing this one out strong.
And they have the wave clear in terms of Team 1. You know, they've got an Orianna, they have a Xayah, Jax, Fiora. They can all farm very effectively. So there are the options. It just means that Direwolves have so much more onus to clean this out. We'll take another look at that sick Dark Binding, and you're correct. I don't think I've seen him miss one.
Yeah.
And then that damage.
That damage is ridiculous. Also the aim for Fantix as well, showing his comfort on the Corki.
Now, Jax did get into the pit, but unfortunately wasn't able to make the steal stick. And I like the thought from Team 1. Again, you can see Fiora on the bottom of your screen, so their idea was our only option here is to look for the steal. We can't win the 5v5.
Oh, whoopsies. Okay, Bruiser caught napping there just a little bit, but it all happened very, very quickly. The arrows are landing, the bindings are landing, the support Ashe, the binary score lines here on the bottom side. Direwolves, we know exactly where they put their power. Chippy's 3-1 and 4. We've got 8-0 for Fantix. And they're looking for Nexus turrets. They'll get the first one. The Brazil versus OCE rivalry continues to be a good one for OCE as the equalizer comes in. They're looking for the celebratory kills and they'll get them. This damage is massive. The Nexus not long for the world, and Direwolves put one on. It's 1-1 now for the Oceanians and 0-2 unfortunately for Brazil, but dominance and what we expected from the Direwolves, who can get ahead early.
And raise your koalas because Oceania is officially on the board at Worlds.
We made it.
We picked up the victory and we're now 5-1, I believe, over Brazil.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. So things working out for OCE, but they still need to back that one up tomorrow as well. And 2 blue side wins here.